Have you ever wondered why you overthink, why you compare yourself to others, or why some habits are so hard to break? Psychology helps us understand the hidden reasons behind our thoughts, feelings, and behavior. In this video, we will look at 12 powerful psychology theories that can help you understand yourself, 1. Your relationships, and the people around you. Attachment theory. Attachment theory explains how our early relationships can shape the way we connect with people later in life. If a child grows up feeling safe, loved, and supported, they may become more comfortable with trust and closeness. But if a child grows up feeling ignored, rejected, or unsafe, they may later struggle with fear of abandonment, emotional distance, or trust issues. This theory helps us understand why some people become anxious in relationships,
2.
while others pull away when things get too close. Behaviorism. Behaviorism says that human behavior is strongly influenced by rewards and consequences. When an action brings a positive result, we are more likely to repeat it. When an action brings a negative result, we are more likely to avoid it. For example, if a student gets praise for studying hard, they may feel motivated to keep going. If someone gets in trouble for being late, they may try harder to be on time. This theory helps explain how habits are built, changed, and reinforced over time.
3.
Social learning theory. Social learning theory says we do not only learn from our own experiences. We also learn by watching other people. We observe what others do, notice what happens to them, and then decide whether to copy or avoid that behavior. A child may learn kindness by watching adults speak gently. A teenager may become more confident after seeing someone like them succeed. This theory reminds us that our environment matters. The people we watch can shape the person we become.
4.
Cognitive dissonance. Cognitive dissonance happens when our actions do not match our beliefs. For example, you may know that sleeping late is bad for you, but you still stay up scrolling on your phone. That creates an uncomfortable feeling inside your mind. To reduce that discomfort, you may tell yourself, just one more night, or I'll fix my routine tomorrow. This theory shows that people often do not change their behavior right away. Instead, they may change the story they tell themselves.
5.
Prospect theory. Prospect theory explains that people often feel the pain of losing something more strongly than the joy of gaining something. Losing $100 may feel worse than the happiness of finding $100. Because of this, people sometimes make emotional decisions just to avoid loss. They may stay in a bad job, hold on to a failing investment, or avoid taking a good opportunity because they are afraid of losing what they already have. This theory helps us understand why fear can have such a strong effect on decision-making.
6.
Social identity theory. Social identity theory says that people often define themselves through the groups they belong to. That group could be a family, school, company, country, sports team, online community, or friend group. Being part of a group can give us pride, confidence, and a sense of belonging. But it can also make us compare our group to others. This theory helps explain why people care so much about identity, community, loyalty, and acceptance.
7.
Two-factor theory of emotion. The two-factor theory of emotion says that emotions come from two things: what happens in our body and how we explain the situation. For example, a fast heartbeat could mean fear, excitement, anger, or nervousness. The feeling depends on how your brain interprets the moment. Before giving a speech, you might think, I'm scared. But you could also think, my body is getting ready. This theory shows that the way we label our emotions can change how we experience them.
8.
Learned helplessness. Learned helplessness happens when a person experiences failure or pain so many times that they start to believe nothing they do will help. Even when a real chance appears later, they may stop trying. For example, a student who fails many tests may begin to think, I'm just not smart. So they give up, even though they could still improve with support and small steps. This theory reminds us that repeated failure can damage confidence, but confidence can also be rebuilt slowly. Small wins matter.
9.
Self-determination theory. Self-determination theory says that people feel more motivated when three psychological needs are met: autonomy, competence, and connection. Autonomy means feeling like you have a choice. Competence means feeling like you are improving. Connection means feeling supported by others. When people feel free, capable, and connected, they are more likely to stay motivated. This theory shows that real motivation does not only come from money, grades, or praise. It also comes from meaning. 10. Terror management theory. Terror management theory sounds intense, but the idea is simple. Human beings know that life is limited, and that can create deep fear. To manage that fear, people search for meaning through family, faith, culture, goals, creativity, work, or helping others. When life feels meaningful, people often feel stronger and less afraid. This theory reminds us that everyone needs something that makes life feel valuable. 11. Post-traumatic growth. Post-traumatic growth is the idea that after painful experiences, some people can grow in powerful ways. This does not mean trauma is good. Pain is real, and healing takes time. But after loss, failure, or crisis, some people begin to see life differently. They may become more grateful, more compassionate, more focused, or more aware of what truly matters. This theory gives us hope. Difficult chapters can sometimes lead to deeper strength. 12. Flow theory. Flow theory describes the state where you become fully focused on what you are doing. You are so involved that time seems to disappear. This can happen when you are writing, playing sports, making art, gaming, studying, coding, or doing anything meaningful. Flow happens when the challenge is not too easy and not too hard. It is just right for your skill level. This theory shows that happiness is not only about relaxing. Sometimes, happiness comes from being deeply engaged in something that matters. Conclusion. These 12 psychology theories help us understand why we think, feel, and act the way we do. They explain relationships, habits, emotions, motivation, fear, identity, and personal growth. The more you understand your mind, the easier it becomes to make better choices, build healthier relationships, and grow as a person. Psychology is not just something you study in books. It is a mirror that helps you understand yourself.